Good. So let's start. Well, my name is Ray. Some of you know me from my YouTube channel. I've been a Breatharian teacher for the last years or so. I did my own initiation 6 years ago, and I wrote a book about it, and I had a website about it. And is it? Well, I'm not okay. I don't mind speaking slowly, but I do mind speaking and then waiting for the translation and speaking and then waiting for the translation. Do you understand the difference? I see the translator is not translating, so maybe she doesn't understand. it Translators, it will mean that you will have to translate while I am talking and not waiting until I stop talking. Do you understand the difference? Okay. Okay, I'll try. So, like I said, my name is Ray. I've been a Breatharian teacher for 5 years now. I teach group initiations. I think the biggest in the world. We just had one initiation that we had 55 participants in. Now, what we see is that the group initiations make it easier for everyone because the more people, the more intention we have, the bigger the group, the bigger the energy of the intention of the people. Therefore, it's easier for everyone. But today, I want to talk about integration. What do I mean integration? Since we've taught already 500 students did the initiations, we've seen a lot of different statistics, a lot of different stories about how we actually bring this information into our homes, into our life, in the best way possible. So there's two problems that happen. The first problem is social, meaning how do we tell other people? How do we share it with our family? When do we stay at dinner table and just drink juice? And when do we actually leave? From what we see, the biggest problem is this, the social. Sometimes it's the programming that we miss food, miss texture. So we will begin this conversation just about that. And we'll do it for about 1 hour and a half, depending if you have questions. So first question, how many people here already did a Breatharian initiation with a raise of hand? Okay, and how many found it difficult to go back home to your normal life? With a show of hand. Let me tell you, 100% of participants have difficulties afterwards. The first issue is that we think that we want to stay in that high frequency and that we shouldn't eat. I was extreme after my Breatharian initiation. I didn't eat for 1 year. But during that year, I built a lot of resistance. I wanted to eat, but I didn't allow myself to eat. Because I thought my spiritual ego wanted to say I'm special, wanted to say I'm unique. So at Christmas dinner, going out with women, going out with friends, I had to say no, 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 no all the time. And it wasn't good for me. So today, what we teach is that after 2 months, you can eating, and then you don't have this resisting that is building up. But the thing is that you want to enjoy both worlds, enjoy all the advantages of being a breatharian, and all the advantages of eating occasionally. So in order to understand that, we need to know how to integrate. The first thing is to how to explain it to people. First thing is never say, I never eat, I never drink. Never. People won't understand that. The best thing, if you want to explain scientifically, is to say that there is something called caloric restriction. Say that all the animals in nature stop eating and drinking when they get sick. To say that science has proven without a doubt that when an animal stops eating, it lives longer. So when someone asks me to explain, first thing I tell them is that I minimize. I take in less, significantly less. And the second thing is that if somebody tells me, okay, so you are living off juice, I say yes. If somebody is telling me I'm living from something, I say sure. I let my ego get hurt and I let myself understand I can't explain. And I find that it's a beautiful challenge, especially for someone that is already very well known in his field. Another thing you need to understand is that people are not going to understand. You need to accept that. You're already weird. Now you've become even more weird. Your friends that they send you to do this thing, telling you that they're going to check it out, they're not going to check it out. And you're not going to be able to explain yourself. Because what you've learned emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of it together. And it's crazy to try to explain something that you did in a whole initiation with 2 minutes. So one of the things I do is see if a person is even interested. And if they're not, I don't try to fight them. I don't explain anything. I just am myself, and we resonate. The vibration of the Breatharian is so high that the people understand things without understanding them. But because most people are very, very scientific, very mental, we have to use science. When I mean science means go to science, tell them that it's not that you stopped eating, it's that you minimize. I want to share with you guys a screen. Let's see if I can do this. And I want to talk about something else because I think you guys are talking about. Can you see this? Hmm. Okay, yeah, good. So, perfect. So you see this? You see what is actually happening? Good. Okay, I want to talk about the transition of humanity from the 3D reality to the 5D reality. And this is what happens to you, the people who are doing the Breatharian transition. You're moving into a higher state, a different vibration, and it's confusing. On the 3D reality, where we are, one leg is in the 3D and one leg is in the 5D reality, we're shifting between a polarity, meaning an understanding of men and women, black and white, into a unified field, meaning the men become more feminine, the women become more masculine in a positive way. But it also means that you are getting a higher vibration. It means that you are becoming manifestors of your reality. It means that you're moving from ego, fear, from service to yourself, you're moving to service to others. You're becoming pioneers of something that is completely new. And that means that you're representing something that is bigger than yourself. Now, let's take another example from the 3D to the 5D. In the 3D, most of the time, we live in a type of fear. Fear, it means I'm afraid of not having money, I'm afraid of not having love, I'm afraid of not having food. And in the 5D, in the higher vibration, I begin to trust, I begin to have acceptance. Now, fear is the opposite of love. So that means I've become more in unity with myself, more in unity with people around me, more in unity with nature itself. Another thing that happens, you might notice, is that suddenly your soul is entering the body more. That means there's more and more parts of you. Suddenly there's days that you don't understand why, but you feel tired. Some days you feel angry. Everything is becoming to come up to the surface level. And now it's the time to deal with it. What do I mean? I mean that there's something that is called the path of least resistance. Now, the universe always wants to show you what's easiest for you, what relationship is best for you, what job is best for you. But we don't want to listen. We actually want to fight it. We want to tell the universe and God and creation that we know what's best for us. So in the beginning, the universe is going to challenge us. It's going to bring us relationships, bring us circumstances that are more and more difficult until we learn what we need to learn. And now, when you have this higher vibration, when you stop eating, when your mind is clear, the challenges are bigger and different. Because if until now you were in a bad relationship and you were afraid to leave that person, telling yourself all the stories in the world about being afraid of being alone, staying together for the children. Now, in the high frequency, you understand that you have to break up with them. You understand that you have to leave that job because it's becoming more and more frustrating, more and more hard. But time itself is shifting because of that. Did you notice? Did you notice that days, the weeks, the months, they passed very quickly now, much faster than before? That's because you're transitioning to a higher frequency and you're much more in the now moment, much more present. But what does that mean? It means that if you're watching a movie that you don't enjoy, it will feel like hell. But if you're doing something that you enjoy, it will feel like heaven, and you won't notice how the time passes. And that also means when you explain to someone about pranic nourishment, about chi, tell them, have you ever been in love? Do you remember when you were in love that you didn't need to eat? But the whole day went by and you forgot that you need to eat? Until in the evening, you looked at your clock and your clock said, oh, it's 7. And then your mind told your stomach that you should eat because you forgot. So being in a high vibration is exactly the same thing. It's a different type of game. It's a different type of challenge. So you're not hungry anymore, but you're also not full anymore. So let's continue. In the 3D, where we come from, where most of us are still are, we are self-exploring. But in the 5D, we already know. We have the knowledge. In the 3D, we're seeking something. We're looking for something. We're looking for spirituality. We're looking to have something. That having, it means we want to have respect. We want to have love. We want to have money. But we are shifting to a place that we don't need to have. We just are. And when we are, we don't need. And another thing you will notice is that we are no longer thinking about the past or the future. We are much more being in the present moment because nothing else matters. Do you have any questions about this? Everything is clear. Am I speaking too fast or too slow? Okay, because I'm making a big effort to speak slow. It's hard for me. Okay, good.
Hello, Ray. This is Catherine.
Hi,
Hi.
I can't see you, I can just hear you.
Yeah. Hello, I'm here.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. I just wanted to ask if you had that experience that sometimes we can go back and forth between 3D and 5D. Does that make sense?
Could you repeat what you said a little bit louder because I can
Yeah.
hear the.
What about the experience of being in the 3D reality and then switching from 5D and come back to 3D and going back and forth between the two? And yeah, what do you think, or what do you have to say about this?
That's a very good question.
Okay.
The
Thank you.
consciousness actually shifts all the time. When we go to sleep, we are moving to the astral plane, which is on the 4th dimension. It depends on where we are and how we feel. For example, in a meditation, we go deeper into ourselves. We close our eyes so we don't see the 3D reality. And then we're actually shifting more to the 5D. Now, the more you are present in your day-to-day life, the higher your vibration is. The more you have stress, negative emotions, the more you are judging and not accepting reality, you have a lower vibration. And a lower vibration will immediately cause you to want to eat, to do something to ground yourself. Let's think about it this way. Remember a person that you love. think about a person that you really, really love or a moment in your life that was precious and ask yourself, what do I feel like eating? Now remember someone, a negative moment in your life, somebody that you really disliked, someone that you even hate, something bad that happened to you. Remember that. Really feel it. And ask yourself, what do I feel like eating? Now, in the first one, a lot of you said, I don't feel like eating, or you wanted a piece of fruit. And the second one, you wanted a piece of chocolate or something heavy. And it's so easy to see the two, to understand the difference, how the emotion is so connected to the physical body. Now, in order to raise your vibration, what you need to do is to understand there's 4 different bodies, and each one of them requires work. Now, you remember when we were kids in school, we always choose to learn things that are easier for us. So if we were athletic, we did sports. If we were analytical, we learned mathematics.
Correct.
But if we were very good in our body, then we neglected our mind. And if we were very good in our mind, we neglected the body. So that means a lot of men need to work on their emotions. And women, they have a pattern that goes up and down. Men are just indifferent. So we both have to work on all 4 bodies. The emotional body, it means that we are in control of our emotions. Our spiritual body, which means that I know I'm not a human being seeking spirituality. I am a spirit seeking very short human experience. And the last one is everything we believe. Everything we believe. That means that we have to begin working. For example, I'm a guy that works more with the mind. Because if we change the belief, then we can change everything about our body. Now think about the consciousness levels that we're shifting between as a way to measure the frequency that you have. If most of the day you're working in a job that you don't enjoy, your pranic, your energetic intake is going to be low. If you are waking up next to a person that you no longer enjoy being with, your pranic energy is going to be low. And your energy is like a muscle. A muscle doesn't stay. It's either you work on it and it gets stronger, or you don't touch it and it breaks down. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Amen. Do we have any more questions?
Hello, Ray.
Hey, brother.
How does it apply to live in the big cities? Because it's hard to maintain this lifestyle, especially when you live in a big city. That I always struggled with this. And do you have any advice?
I heard you. The question was about living in a city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, it's very hard for me to maintain this lifestyle by living in London. You know, it's just whenever I go outside, it flows naturally, but over there
Okay.
is just struggle.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think what you're saying is a story that you really believe in?
Uh,
How much? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Hard to tell, actually. It
Because
depends.
a part of it is a story that you're telling yourself, oh, there's pollution, there's carbon dioxide, there's trucks, and a part of it is real. A part of it is more physical.
Hmm.
So how much? 1 to 10.
I'll say 7.
7 is a very high story, man. So you need to think that, tell yourself a different story. The story I tell myself, because I used to live in a city, I told myself, this doesn't affect me at all. I told myself that my body, the breatharian body, is so clean that even when I breathe the air that is polluted, my body knows how to clean itself fast because I don't have any more toxins. You understand? And then, your body, your mind changes everything. Really, the mind is so amazing. A lot of you wake up 2 minutes before your alarm clock in the morning. Why? Because the mind knows that you don't like to hear the alarm clock. So it wakes you up 2 minutes before. I'll give you another example of how much control you have. You know that feeling that you need to take a piss and you're coming closer to your house, and the closer you get to your toilet, the harder you feel it that you really, really need to take a piss. Now, until you go to the toilet and you're going to explode. Now, ask yourself the question, what would happen if you would arrive home 15 minutes later? The same thing would happen, exactly the same time. But your mind tells the body that in a second you're going to feel better. So it begins making you feel like you have to rush it. It's close, it's close. One time I understood that, and I stood just 10 minutes, 10 steps away from my apartment, and my body was already like, oh, you have to pee, you have to pee. I told my body, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to move 1 inch until I don't feel anything. Anything.
Did it
In
work?
10 seconds. In 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That's it. The body made me feel nothing. I went home, no rush, enjoyed myself. But it's a game. Understand how much your belief influences your body.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to pee now. You have any more questions? Okay, we're going to do an exercise. It's an exercise in manifestation. And you guys are going to enjoy this exercise a lot. And I'm going to explain it twice because I have a tendency to speak fast. So we're going to split into 2 people, and every person is going to have 7 minutes to talk to the other person and tell him about the best year of his life. Now, he's going to tell him about the best year of his life from a year from now. About the year that has happened. So we're imagining that we are a year from now, and tomorrow morning, the best year of our life begins. And you're going to tell your partner everything that happened in that year. Everything. Now, you have all the money you want in your bank account. You have everything you want. What are you going to do in this year? Where are you going to travel? Who are you going to meet? Everything. I don't want you to think you have any limitation. Now, the most important thing is that I don't want you to imagine this year. I want you to remember this year. Feel things that happened. Don't think small, think big. Now, I say think big, I don't mean that you became Superman and you flew away to Mars. Because your subconscious is going to reject that visualization. What I mean is that everything you wanted your whole life, all the positive experiences you had, take them, multiply them by 100, and then shrink them into 1 year. Now, your partner that is listening, he can help you give a little bit of life. So if you are telling him, oh, I went to Hawaii and I scuba dived with sharks, then he's going to ask you, oh, what was the temperature of the water? Or at which month did you go? So together you're building a story that you're remembering, imagining, and feeling together. And be like a child, no limitation, whatever you want, whenever you wanted it. What is the exercise for? I'm going to explain it after the exercise. Good. So unlimit yourself. I want you to break the walls of limitation and the stories that you have built all your life. You can be with whoever you want. Your wife, your husband is not going to say anything. Experience everything you wanted to experience in just 1 year. And if you get stuck, your partner is going to help you. Good. Okay. So split into partners. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand so you can find somebody. Better in the same language. And you can begin. I will tell you when to switch partners. I will tell you when to switch. Good. So, how do you feel? How was your year? I want to hear it. How was your year? Okay. Who wants to tell me why we did this exercise? One reason. Yes. Why? There's nobody wants to save in one thing. Okay. So I will tell you guys. The first reason is because when we are thinking about the things that we have without limitation, we're going to back to becoming children. Second reason is that we are breaking apart all the walls, the limitations that we tell ourselves every day. About what we can do, about how much money we have in the bank. The third thing is to see that a lot of the things that we want, we can achieve if we want to do them. And we forgot. We kind of forgot our dreams. The fourth reason is to be grateful. Now, when you are remembering the experiences that you had this year, you are becoming grateful for them. And that's why you have feel the different energy in the tent that you have now from the beginning. I know it's very frustrating to listen and to have a break every time to wait for the translation. I know it requires patience. In this exercise, you became children again and used your imagination. And I want to teach you how powerful your imagination is. As breatharians, I don't know where you did your initiation. You should focus on using your visualization, your imagination, to bring in prana. In every breath, you can visualize that there's white energy entering your body. When you take just one very powerful breath, pranic breath, you will immediately feel the difference. Immediately, you don't even think about it. Suddenly you're full. The same thing with spending time in nature. You feel that you are nourished energetically. Now, I know it's a struggle. I know it's not easy. And you need to remember something. The darkness is very organized. The light is not organized. Actually, the light is scattered. There's a reason that the light is scattered. Scattered, it means that it's in different locations, not in one place. It's because there's enough of one candle to light up a whole dark room. And after this initiation, or after becoming a Breatharian, you're pretty much alone. But all you have to remember is that there's a reason that you chose to do that, and it's beyond yourself. We are all here to serve humanity. We are here to show that we can think differently. By doing this type of initiation, by living this type of lifestyle, you are teaching other people that their existence, that science, that there are things beyond what they can see and measure. You are actually pioneers of something that is completely new, something that is completely different. And you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is be yourself. And by being yourself, others will learn from you. Not if you need to explain it, not if you're pushing it. Just be yourself, and they will come to you in the end. Easy. Now, who wants to share with me his difficulty in the integration of this lifestyle? So everybody had an easy peasy time?
Bonjour, Rai. Merci.
Hi.
Moi, je crois que pour moi... Pardon. Où tu viens... Ah ouais. Ah oui, oui, bien sûr. Okay. So, hello, Ray. Merci.
Hi.
Pour moi, c'est difficile au moins à deux endroits, cette intégration.
So for me, it's difficult in two places, this integration.
Elle est difficile dans la famille, quand je vais en séjour chez mon père.
It's difficult when I go to my family, with my father.
Mes frères, tout ça, qui
my
sont
brothers,
encore plus étrangers à tout ça.
who are even more strangers to all this.
Et puis dans mon travail, parce que dans mon travail, je fais des stages, donc je vis en collectivité.
And in my work, because I give workshops and I live in collectivity.
Et c'est vrai que pour moi, parfois c'est difficile de m'extraire.
And for me, sometimes it's difficult to extract myself.
D'être différente.
And to be different.
J'aime pas me faire remarquer.
I don't like to be noticed.
Donc je sais pas comment faire encore.
So I don't know how to be with this.
She means she doesn't know how to be, or she doesn't feel comfortable being different?
Donc ça veut dire que tu te sens pas confortable d'être différente?
Oui, c'est vrai. De se faire remarquer.
And to be noticed, yeah, also.
Oh yeah. Well, about being noticed, you can always choose to not be around people when they eat.
Tu peux toujours choisir de ne pas être à côté des gens quand ils mangent.
You can choose to do that. It's
Tu peux
brave to do
choisir de
that.
faire cela. C'est courageux de faire cela.
Je le
If
fais
you
dans
don't do
certaines
that-
conditions, mais pas dans toutes. Ouais.
I do that in certain occasions, but not always.
But if you are going to be next to them when they eat, they're going to have all the attention and all the energy towards you,
Donc,
asking you questions
si tu es
because
là
you're
quand
different.
ils mangent, ils vont toute l'attention sera focalisée sur toi. Ils vont te poser des questions. Pourquoi tu manges pas, etc.
What I do is I take a bowl of soup.
Donc ce que moi je fais, c'est que je prends un bol de soupe.
Just the water of the soup, the
Donc
broth.
juste le jus de la soupe.
And I just drink, and I feel like I'm with them.
Et comme ça, je sens que je suis avec eux.
And they feel comfortable.
Et eux, ils se sentent confortables.
Now you should understand, especially in the beginning,
Donc,
we
nous
tend to
devons comprendre qu'au début,
judge
nous avons tendance
people
à juger,
for eating because we know they are
on
eating
juge
way
les
too
gens,
much.
Qui mangent, et parce que nous savons qu'ils mangent beaucoup trop.
And they are judging us because they think we went crazy.
Et puis eux, ils nous jugent parce qu'ils pensent que nous sommes devenus fous.
But they're doing it because they love you and they
Mais
care for
ils
you.
le font parce qu'ils t'aiment et puis que, voilà,
And yet,
tu comptes pour eux.
there's some people that are like clouds.
Et
When
malgré
they
ça,
disappear,
il y en
the
a
sun comes
des
out.
nuages.
Mais on sent
It
la
means
peur
that-
des personnes.
We feel the fear of the people.
She has a fear of the people?
No, we feel the fear of the people.
Exactly. And then you should make an exercise with yourself. It goes like this. What is mine, and what is yours is yours. Because now
Ce qui est le
you
mien est
can
le mien, et
feel
ce qui est le tien est
you
le
can
tien.
feel their hunger.
Donc,
You can
tu peux
feel
sentir
their anger,
leur
but it's not yours.
colère, mais ce n'est pas la tienne.
And when you do this
Et on peut
intentionally,
faire ça
you're actually
intentionnellement.
separating your
Tu es en
energetic
train de
field
séparer ton corps énergétique
with intention.
avec intention.
Ok. Merci.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Merci à toi.
Good. I want to talk to you about something that most spiritual people and guides don't want to talk about. Money. Now, when I say money, what do you feel? Do you feel disgusted? Do you feel I need more? Do you feel I have enough? Because in our mind, especially people just like you, people who are new age, people who are spiritual, there are limiting beliefs that we have about money. The first limiting belief, in English, it's called less is more. It means I tell the universe that I don't need a lot. I don't need a lot, so I go to a Pranic festival. I don't need a lot, so I stop eating. I don't need a lot, so I go to Bolivia or to Mexico and not to America or not to Hawaii. Now, if I tell the universe I don't need a lot, what is the universe going to bring me? Very little, because I believe, because I feel that I don't need a lot. Now, it doesn't mean that we need a lot. It means that we have a belief that we need very, very little. And then the universe will bring us little by the law of attraction. The law of attraction means what I believe and what I feel about myself is the universe will compare that. So if I'm a negative person and I'm always afraid of not having, then the universe will bring me more things to worry about. And if I'm a positive person, always saying thank you for the trees, thank you for the water, thank you for my wife, the universe will bring me more things to be grateful for. So ask yourself, do you have this limiting belief of less is more? And if you do have this limiting belief, start shifting. Now, it doesn't mean you need more money, but I prefer that the money of the world will be in your hands than in the hands of the people that now have it. Now, I have more, and I donate. I donate 5% of all the processes. I give people gifts. It means that the money that you will have, the abundance you will have, you will use it to make your friends' life better, your children's life better. That's the first limiting belief. The second limiting belief is that money is dirty. That money, people who have money, they are manipulated, they are corrupted, they play a game that is not fair. Some of you are working as healers, massage therapists. You're afraid to ask for what you deserve because you have this limiting belief. That you tell your friend that you don't want to charge him, even though this is your gift, even though this is what you came with. So ask yourself, is money dirty for you? And if money is dirty for you, then you won't want to have it. You have a limiting belief that I don't want to have this dirt. I don't want to be manipulated. I don't want to be a negative person. You should know something. The amount of people who commit suicide every year among the rich is bigger than among the poor. That's because a person reaches a level in his life that he has nowhere more to strive, no more dreams. There is to translate this. Should I wait for you? She's gone. So, what do we need once we recognize the limiting belief? A limiting belief, for example, is a person needs 2 liters of water a day or he's going to die. A limiting belief is a relationship is a difficult thing. A limiting belief is I need to work hard to get money. Everyone has a friend that started working half of the hours in something that he enjoys more, and he started making more money. Everybody. And you are also the same. It's just the fear of the limiting belief that is holding you back. Now, another thing you need to understand about abundance is that money is energy. And an energy that is stuck in, and you think that you're saving up for something, is not flowing. Once you start spending, more avenues of income will immediately come. Immediately. Because you are trusting. Now, like we said, trusting in yourself, trusting in the creation, in the perfection of everything. The most successful people in the world are not the smartest. They are the people who believe in themselves the most. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, he had 1,000 bad light bulbs, 1,000 failures before he created that first light bulb. So it's about persistence. So that's why, for example, in the initiations, what we need to do to integrate is to choose a date, one date that is 2 months after the initiation, and a set of rules for ourselves. This set of rules can be everything. It can be, I'm only staying on liquids. I'm only eating light fruits once every 2 or 3 days. But choose one date. And until that date, don't change the rule. We have a difficult integration because we didn't persist with our rules. I'll give you an example so you'll understand a little bit better. Most of you became vegetarian or vegans at one point in your life. So when you went into the supermarket, the whole section of meat disappeared from your eyes. It didn't exist. You didn't think about it. There was no doubt. There was, oh, maybe once a week I'm going to eat a cow. No. But as breatharians, it's not the same. We don't have that persistent decision because we always think, oh, you know something, maybe I should. And I wanted to do this process to get more freedom in my life. So why am I doing the opposite? And so what you should do is make a rule for just a specific amount of time. And in that time, forget about food completely. Think about it like a time of studying something new, a time of experiencing something new. When you persist with this, you will persist with other things in your life as well. That is why this is the gift that keeps on giving. Because the difficulty that you experience with yourself, with the stories that you tell yourself, and with society, you're becoming stronger. The person that you are today is everything that you experienced that was bad in your life, everything that was difficult in your life, and it created a very strong and powerful personality. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand why it's so important? Especially in the beginning, especially in the beginning. If you just finished your initiation or you're going to do another one, the integration part is the most important part. If you will ever come to learn with me, you will understand that. So, everybody now worked on their limiting beliefs about money. So, we're all multimillionaires. That's it. Yeah. No, but it's crazy. It's really energy. It's like there's a ladder of expectation. You you leave university expecting to get a particular salary and expecting to get a small raise every year. But it's all about your energy, because if your energy will be the energy of a person that has skipped 10 steps, some of you have already made that leap one time. I've made that leap 3 times. It's a switch, just like the Pranic switch. You're switching and you're telling your body, I don't need food. And if I do need food, I need very, very little. It's impossible to even remember how we were before the initiation. Okay. I want to do one last exercise with you guys. I want you all to close your eyes and just listen to me. You don't need to meditate, just listen and visualize. So close your eyes, and I want you to think about one thing that you want. One thing that you really, really want. It can be an object. It can be a person. It can be something in yourself, a character or a healing. Give it a name, give it a feeling. And I want you to feel the vibration, the energetic vibration of that one thing that you really, really want. Good. Now I want you to feel the opposite of that, the energy of what that you don't want, that is the opposite of that thing that you want. But I want you to just feel the energy, feel the vibration itself. I want you to remove any color and imagination. Just feel the energy of what it is that you want and how it feels like very strongly, and the energy of what it is that you don't want. And now I want you to imagine that there is a parallel universe. That universe is exactly identical to our world. And the only difference is that in that universe, you have that thing that you really, really want. You are living it every day. I want you to imagine how it feels like for you in that parallel universe, how you experience it, what different it made in your life. Now, I want you to stand in front of the other you. Remember, he has that thing. She has that energy that you acquire. And I want you to give yourself a hug. And I want you to start feeling that you are receiving this vibration. You're receiving this energy. You're acquiring it. And you're happy to give it to yourself. It is a gift. You can imagine that you're moving energy into your body. You can imagine that you're copying the DNA of the other you. Just breathe it in. Feel that it's going into every cell and every organ. Until you feel completely that you have shifted, that you are exactly like your parallel self. And now ask yourself the question, do I feel that that need has changed even the slightest? Do I feel like I have just a little bit of that thing that I wanted? You can open your eyes. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel that you got that thing just a little bit? That's because you do. That's because it's a vibration. That's because it's a belief. You know, when I was 23, I was in the military. I'm living in Israel. There's a mandatory 3-year service. And I was a pacifist. I didn't want to be in the military. I really didn't want to. I didn't know what to do. So I decided that I'm going to create an illness. I was a computer programmer and I wanted to hurt my hand. So what I did is first I understood the power of the subconscious. I understood that people can heal themselves from their belief. Now, we all know this, it's called placebo. So I read the book, The Power of the Subconscious, and I read about self-hypnosis. And every day, 15 minutes before I went to sleep, I touched my hand at the wrist, and I told myself, oh my God, this hurts so much. I just touched it. In the beginning, I didn't feel anything. 15 minutes. After 3 weeks, I felt a very sharp pain in my hand. And then suddenly I was like, whoa, this works. And then my belief in myself and my creation became even stronger. Now, before you go to sleep, the brain waves of the active person are called beta waves. The brain waves of someone that is sleeping or meditating, they're delta or theta waves. So just before you go to sleep, it's easier for you to convince your subconscious of something. So I continued. After 1 month, I had a very serious inflammation in my hand. I went to the doctor, they checked me. They said, we don't know how you're so young and you have this very serious inflammation in your hand. They told me it's only at the age of 50, from people who use computers, they get this. And they told me, we have to tell you some bad news. You can't continue serving in the military. So I was devastated. And I left, and it was amazing. It took 1 month of paperwork, but I left, and I was happy. But then I was stuck. I had a very serious inflammation in my hand, which took me 3 months to create. But you convince yourself, and the belief is so strong that now you don't know what to do. Now there's fear about, oh, I screwed my hand forever. And the fear lowers the vibration of a person. And then the inflammation becomes worse. So it took me 6 months to heal myself. I did everything: alternative, drinking a lot of water, acupuncture, meditations, visualizations. So it took twice more to heal myself than to create it. But all this I'm telling you because I want you to understand how much your belief is important in the Breatharian and everything around it. It's about money, it's about health, and whatever it is that you believe is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. If you're afraid, then you're going to create your fear. You know, my wife and I are so different. I'm such an optimistic guy. Because one time a person told me that he doesn't eat, and I believed him. And then I told him, teach me. I want to learn. I want to understand how this works, you know? And every one of us has a story like this, you know? It's about balancing our belief system with what we really want. Now, again, I know it's not an easy life, guys. But it's a matter of perspective. It's really a matter of perspective. I encourage you, instead of eating and feeling guilty, to make yourself a set of rules that is easier, you know? I eat twice a week. In the beginning, I was extreme. 1 year, I didn't eat at all. I was just drinking. But it was too much. I didn't want that. Now I want to balance it. I want to enjoy the advantages of being a breatharian and the advantages of eating, because we're in the Western world. Now, if you want to be a breatharian, 100%, no food, no water, go to the Himalaya mountains, find yourself a cave, and meditate all day. In the West, you have relationships, you have a job, you have stress, you have a lot of things that even if you want to go 100%, even if you want to, because your ego wants to, and it's okay to want, you know, you will find a different balance somewhere in the middle, and you have to be okay with that. You have to not feel guilty. In this lifestyle, there's only success, there's no failure. Because you're already doing something that 99.999% of the population will never do. So you already succeeded. You're already doing something that is changing the world for the better. You're already healthier. You're already more spiritual. You're already more connected. So instead of focusing on feeling guilty if you eat occasionally, eat with a smile and enjoy it. You know, I used to have a French girlfriend, so I understand just a little bit of what she's translating. I have to tell you, it was a very bad experience. So much drama, my God, so much drama. So, my friends, do you have any questions for me? I didn't hear. I heard just a woman. Ah, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Good. Amen. It's my pleasure. I don't think about it like I need it because I think about it like I'm enjoying it, but I do know that even though the Pranic engine is open, I know that a little bit is still physical food that I take. Yes, I think all of us are, and it's how much you get your body used to it. So if you would be extreme and have only 5% physical, then your body will get used to that. But if you go 10%, 15%, then your body will get used to that. But for me, the definition of a breatharian is someone that is no longer hungry. It means your body is nourished more from prana than from food. And then it doesn't tell you that it wants anything. It depends on your process. I don't know which type of initiation you did, but usually the proper initiation doesn't leave a lot to clean. So you don't need to do enema afterwards or a saltwater flush. But if you feel that you still have toxins, all those things are great. Everything you mentioned. Did you ask yourself, did you make blood tests after your initiation, like 2, 3 months after? So I've taught 500 people already, and most of them do their blood tests after about 3 months. And the blood tests are always better than they were before. So where is the body getting iron and minerals and vitamins, right? So it's a part of the belief that we need something from the outside. Truly, definitely. Oh yeah, and the body's supposed to be that way. It's just that, 2,000 years we're eating shit, we're eating too much, and with honesty, the government really wants people to have a low vibration, so they're easier to control. Yeah, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Bonjour.
Hello.
Bonjour.
My name is Meto. I just introduced myself. So, okay, I have a question.
Mais tu continues à parler en français.
Ah oui, pardon. Donc, en fait, je souhaiterais savoir si tout le monde sur la Terre devenait pranien.
So I would like to know if everyone became a Breatharian on Earth.
Comment serait le monde? Je veux dire, est-ce qu'il y aurait plus de guerre, plus de souffrance, plus de viol d'enfants, plus tout ce qu'on voit d'horrible en ce moment?
So how would be the world? Would there be no more wars, no more cruelty, no more rapes of children? All the problems we're seeing now, will they disappear? If everyone became Breatharian.
If everybody became Breatharian, it means that we are already moving to the 5D vibration. And in the 5D vibration, it's more like that heaven that you describe, yes. But I don't believe that this is the future right now. I don't believe that all human beings will become Breatharian eventually.
Donc je ne crois pas que tout le monde va devenir respirien maintenant, parce que ça voudrait dire qu'on passe dans la 5e dimension.
Et combien de temps ça peut prendre? On ne sait pas.
How much time do you think it would take for the world to go into 5th dimension?
If you know Bashar, I've had the channeling with Bashar and I asked him the same question. And he told me that in 50 years, 10% of the population will be Breatharians.
Donc si vous connaissez Bachar, moi je lui ai posé la question. Et puis il m'a répondu que dans 50 ans, tout le monde sera respirien.
Ouais.
Ah, 10%, excusez-moi. 10%.
It's like the percent of vegetarian and vegan that are right now in the world.
10%.
Comme le pourcentage de végétariens et de véganes qu'il y a dans le monde en ce moment.
D'accord. Merci beaucoup.
You're welcome.
Hey Ray.
Hey brother.
My question is, what do you recommend to get better connected with the spirit guides or inner guidance? Because I noticed sometimes I'm really good connected, listening more to my inner voice, especially when I'm not eating and not drinking. But after I started to get, especially out of emotional situations, back to eating, and often together with guiltiness and so on, I don't listen to my inner voice anymore. Do you have any recommendations?
Yes, I do. The first is when you're meditating, take some time to ask questions that you don't have answers to. Now, when you'll do that, you can actually ask your guides to come closer to your body and then tell them to go away. And then tell them come close to my body, and you will feel that you're actually like vibrating differently. You'll actually feel as they're moving away and coming closer. And that will give you a physical sign that will help you believe that they're really there and it's not a story that you're telling yourself, you know. Now, when you ask the questions, you will notice that as you formulate the question, immediately an answer appears. And the story you will tell yourself is that, oh, it's my brain. And sometimes it is your brain. If you practice enough, you will see that the answers start coming, they just flow. It's like me. I don't think about what I'm going to say. I just say, you know?
Yeah.
If I stop and think, it will be my ego answering, and that's not truth. So when I flow, I know that I'm being guided. I know that it's a channeling that is coming through me, and sometimes I'm even surprised by whatever it is that I'm saying. But listen to your intuition, you know? About your intuition, you remember that sometimes in our life, we meet a person. For you, it will be a beautiful woman or a business partner, and we immediately feel something. It can be negative and it can be positive. And then our brain says, oh, she's so good looking, or oh, he has money, you know? But our intuition said something bad. And then after 2 months, she breaks our heart. He lies to us and escapes our partnership. And then our brain tells us, oh, we knew something was wrong in the beginning, didn't we? But we have to wait until we understand. So instead of waiting, begin listening to intuition now. With everything. If you see a beautiful girl, ask your intuition. Just close your eyes and ask, can I be with this person? Is it good for me? Are they going to respect me? And you'll get an answer, you know? And just follow that. The more you follow it, the more intuition you will have, the more guidance you will have. You will start flowing through life because you will stop thinking. And really, we all think too much. It's a bless to not think.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Mon problème, c'est je mange en grosse quantité et après je vomis.
So my problem is that I eat great quantities of food and then I throw up.
Ooh. That's called binge eating.
Ça veut dire, ouais, c'est que tu es en train de... Oh, je me rappelle plus, c'est un désordre alimentaire en fait. Ouais, ça veut dire... Oh, je connais pas le mot. Boulimie, voilà, boulimie, merci. Oui.
That's an eating disorder. That's not, when we become breatharian.
C'est un problème alimentaire, c'est pas en lien avec le Breatharian.
Don't concentrate on the eating. Concentrate on loving yourself.
Donc, concentre-toi pas sur la nourriture, mais concentre-toi sur le fait de t'aimer.
When you love yourself more, you will immediately see that you don't want to have that. Is everything okay?
J'ai fait un processus de 21 jours.
So I went to a process of 21 days.
Non, ça va pour moi.
Hein? Mais tu as fait un processus de 21 jours, oui?
Oui.
Puis qu'est-ce que tu aimerais dire?
Rien, je sais pas.
Tu sais pas ce que tu veux dire?
Non.
Okay. So he doesn't know anymore. He doesn't know what to say anymore.
Did he say that he has an eating disorder? That he eats and then he throws up?
Yes, since I just knew now that it was since his process, his initiation of 21 days.
Okay, it doesn't mean that he's not doing it on purpose. It just happens when he eats, right? His body is rejecting the food.
Ça se passe automatiquement, c'est ça?
Non, et des fois quand je mange pas beaucoup, je vomis pas. Mais des fois je suis entraîné par la boulimie, je mange.
D'accord.
Et après je me sens coupable. Et après je vomis ou je me fais vomir.
Okay, so he has an eating disorder, bulimia. And he says that when he eats a lot, then he throws up, and then he feels like guilty, and he also eats a lot.
So tell him to focus on loving himself and doing things that he enjoys in life. Because he's using food just because of his emotional unbalance. And the more he will concentrate on loving himself and accepting reality as it is without arguing with it, then he will see that the binge eating will go away. And of course, this is a very general advice because I don't know him personally and I don't know, You're Jesus. You look like Jesus, man. Fill yourself with love. Okay, let's do one more question.
Здравствуйте, Рай.
Hi, Ray.
Я
Hello, brother.
благодарю вас, мы благодарим вас за ваше чистое сознание.
We thank you for your beautiful, clean mind.
Вопрос в том,
I have a question. Говори.
когда мы говорим, что правительству невыгодно что-то,
When we say that the government is not interested in something,
не похоже ли это на ситуацию с деньгами?
don't you think it's the same situation like with the money?
Может, как раз людям с высокими вибрациями и осознанностью есть смысл запускать программы.
Maybe for the people with the high conscience, it's a good idea to start the new programs.
Запускать программы просветленного правительства.
About the enlightened government.
То правительство, которое служит людям.
The government which serve for the people.
И тогда мы быстрее эту реальность притянем.
И что быстрее?
Быстрее притянем эту реальность. Материализуем.
And then we will more quickly materialize the current reality. Or this reality.
И, возможно, такие конгрессы, фестивали, их задача будет именно в этом.
And maybe the purpose of this congress and festivals will be exactly in these ideas.
Одной из важной части.
One of the most important parts.
Потому что очень многие страдают от правительства, не понимая, что правительство — это и есть мы.
Wow, let me. Because a lot of people suffering because they don't understand that because the government do not understand that the government that are us and not themselves. So there is no difference that they serving for the people and not working for themselves.
И тогда сбудется мечта Эйнштейна, взорвется бомба любви.
And then will be the dream of Einstein. Let the explode the bomb of the love.
Thank you. Thank you.
You like this question, huh?
It's not a question, but I love it. I love the idea. You know, I think we all want this type of world.
Thank you.
So, my friend, thank you for accepting me for 90 minutes of your time. And I wish you all a very, very beautiful festival. I wish I was there with you, and maybe next year I will be. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much.